Hey Daryl, I got your new Washington here, and I did talk to you already about the free microphone from President, and you elected for the DigiMic. And it was funny when I was making this video, in the beginning part of it, President actually called me, so I spoke with them on the phone. Um, I paused the video or stopped recording and talked with them for a minute. And I did ask them for clarification. So with the DigiMic on these, they say to use the electret setting, the mic setting electret. So that's what they said. So anyone that was ever wondering that, that's what they said. So I'm just going to throw this in the beginning of the video. I'll send your information off to them, and they'll get that mic heading your way soon. So you do, if you buy one of these from me, you do get the option to get a free Bluetooth mic or a free President DigiMic with the purchase of a new Washington. I believe now also with the George FCC, you get that option as well. There's a promo for the dealers to offer that. So I believe it's also on the George FCC and the Washington. They extended the Washington, and now they added the George. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, you can get a free mic out of the deal. All right, 73. Okay, Daryl in Pennsylvania. Here's your new Washington. So got the fans on for you and all that good stuff. They're not on yet, but I'm assuming they'll kick on anytime. I have the temperature set to, thermostat about 50 Celsius. Actually, I have the wrong setting here. I want to put it on temperature, but DC, it's about 13.4 right now. That's what it's showing with full, pretty much full power out on sideband right now. So it's drawing what, about 2.4, I don't know, 2.4, 6, 8, 10, about 5-6 amps maybe, on that meter. So on the Astron, so there it is on sideband. So it's about 24. And there's our waveform, so that looks pretty good. Let me do this. Get it to trigger for us. Whoops, need to run it. So looks really nice. So I haven't done anything else to it yet. I just did sideband. So we want to make sure that sideband's good first, because obviously you wouldn't buy this radio if you didn't want to talk on sideband. Let me get this to show temperature instead of DC. I named that band. Yeah, I did. For some reason it didn't stay in. So let me name it again. Actually, I think when you reset the radio, it loses that stuff, so that's probably why everything is back the way it was. Which is kind of annoying, but I should learn to do that after. DC, we want temp, and we want SWR here. I know it's hard to see, but I've done these enough to kind of know what's what. I've turned off the tone beep. Temperature protect 50, that's good. I think that's Fahrenheit right there. Yeah, so it's sitting at about 100 Fahrenheit right now. I want to turn the fans on actually, just because. So let's do that. Let's turn this way down. And basically get those fans to kick on. There we go. Fans are blowing, and you can see the arrows are facing the heatsink like they should be, and the little grills are on. So we're all good there now. Fans are on. Obviously, I'll turn that back up when it's done. You can learn about the temperature safety feature in the radio by reading the manual. It will at times, if you didn't have the fans, let's say, the radio will start cutting back power when it detects over temp. But with the fans on, the fans will help, not allow that to happen. So you will notice, I believe, once you remove this film and stuff, you can see the radio better, obviously. But when you're transmitting, you have your power indicator over here. I think if the fans were not running, or you had the temperature protection up too high where they wouldn't run, I think the power indicator will start to blink, and it'll drop power back to help protect the radio. So it is kind of cool technology that's in here. So let's just quickly look at the power. since I've done sideband already. Obviously this is on the CB band here, but you know, use it where you need to. I use these before on HF and they work just fine. So but it is open and unlocked for receive everywhere, so you know, you can't receive here without unlocking it. So power on these are about 70 to 80 watts is about where they are. So I know it says, the box says 80 plus PP, but to be realistic about it, 70, 80 watts is about what they do in a nice clean fashion. So you know, that's the good thing about these, is a couple quick adjustments and the transmit cleans up really nice, and they sound good too. I mean, it's a really good sounding radio. It's going to be very similar to a lot of the other ones that you've gotten recently, so I think you'll like this one. Here's how it looks here. So here's how it looks with voice. 1 2 3 4 5, check 1 2, check 1 2, nice and clean with voice. And now I'm just going to go in and set your power levels. It'll be 1, 4, 8, and 16 for AM, because you have these power limitation features, and you can learn about that in the manual, or you can just flat out use the RF power and adjust anywhere from 16 down to 1 on AM and not worry about the power limitation features. FM will be 1, I can't remember how FM goes. It's going to be like 1, 4, 10, and 50, I think. And I will set the FM deviation to about 4.1 kilohertz, and I'll set the AM mod on all the adjustments on the service mode to about 96%. So you should be good there. And when I'm done with that, I'll come back and show you the power and stuff on AM. Sorry if my lenses were a little dirty. I just cleaned them up. Sometimes that happens and I don't realize it until after I've started the video, but I'm going to actually change this color to I like green, I think, with these. So I probably went the wrong way here, the long way. Actually, I like orange on the Presidents. Green is okay too, but orange, I really like the orange. Orange is my favorite for these radios. I think it looks awesome. It's an awesome looking radio, it really is. Obviously on the video it doesn't really do us justice here, but with the protective film. Okay, Daryl, just wanted to show you how the radio kind of sounds. So this is on a dummy load, this is on an outside antenna. So we will pick up this dummy load from outside. The dummy load's under the bench here. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, check check, hello, 1 2 1 2. I'm just using a factory mic that comes with the radio. This is my own, but 1 2 3, 1 2 3, check check. So it sounds really good. And again, I haven't done the AM part yet, like I said I was going to in the video, but 1 2 3, 1 2 3, check check, hello, 1 2 1 2. So a good 70 plus watts out of these, sometimes 80, but you can pretty much count on about 70, 75 watts. And that's on sideband. Alright, so we got AM all set up for you, and FM all set up for you, so everything is good to go. These radios are really nice because they don't allow the AM modulation control to overshoot. So what that is, you know, it's going to keep the modulation nice and clean and not have any ability to overshoot power, which is what a lot of guys like, because it gives them a false sense that the radio is working better, because you know, you can have X amount of dead key and then the radio will overshoot, and sometimes you can get swing of like 10, 15, 20 times, and people like that. But in reality, it's not really helping you. It just looks cool on a power meter and stuff like that. So if we can sometimes learn about that stuff, then we can try to figure out, okay, what's best for what we want to do. And this is a really fun radio to use because it actually works the way it's designed to work on AM. It's still really clean and really clear sound, but you have to be aware of, you know, certain radios are designed to do certain things, and this radio is obviously designed for clarity and not distortion. So, you know, that kind of thing. So again, this is now on a dummy load outside. I have a remote antenna switch, so there's a 100-watt dummy load connected, and we're running that. So, and then this is on the indoor, the Washington's on the indoor, so we're just on AM here, and we're just running the factory mic. So it's a very clean and clear audio. It's very crisp and it sounds really good. Nice and punchy. You could run other mics and stuff like that if you want a little more bass in the sound, but not everybody likes a bassy audio. You get a bassy audio, you know, sometimes people sound really bassy, and that's just me changing my voice and eating the mic, but you can kind of hear what that does. So here it is on the spectrum analyzer. Again, it's really clean. All the power is within around that 6 kilohertz bandwidth, which is good because that means your power is staying right on channel or frequency. If you were using this up on 10 meter AM, you would not be sending signal outside of where you should be, and that's a good thing. So, you know, that's how radio should work. We'll go over here to the power meter. A little feedback, but 16 watts carrier and sometimes 60 to 70 watts PEP. So it definitely works good. It's around that 4 to 5 times power range on PEP, which is normal. That's good. Again, if we lower, let me turn this monitor radio down now. We're kind of done with that. If we lower our RF power down just by doing this, we can see now it's picking up the noise from the fans. At level 5, you can see its spectrum analyzer is moving as I speak. At level 5, we're at about 6 watts. So, well, 6.5 or something. So we'll see kind of what it does there. So at level 5, you know, again, it's going to drop off some, but again, that's how radio on AM works. The lower the carrier, the lower the PEP. Some radios, you get a low carrier and you still get high power out, and that's that distortion, that ALC, AMC, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it AMC because when we're talking AM, it's more AM, modulation control overshoot. It's basically the limiter is not working the way it's designed with a steady test tone, where these radios do work the way it's designed with the steady test tone. It does the same thing with voice as it does with an output tone coming out of a piece of test equipment. So the radio remains linear even with voice, and a lot of other radios don't simply do that because they have a distortion factor that's built in. So when you speak with your spoken word, you end up with higher distortion power, which obviously makes the power meter go crazy. So, you know, these don't do that. It's a really good sounding radio, but again, different strokes for different folks, you know. Very cool radio here though, for sure. So if we go all the way down to the lowest setting, which is about our 1 watt, 1 2 3 4 5, check 1 2, 1 2 3 4 5, check 1 2. It still does quite well. I don't know if you guys remember the video, if you watched the video I did the other day. This would drive the snot. Where is it? Oh, it's up here. This guy here, I mean, I wouldn't say that you should hook something like that up to it, because it's, you know, different era to a new era style piece of radio equipment, but we saw what that did with 4 watts PEP, and this is doing about 7, 8. So that would drive the snot out of that, and you probably get a lot more out of it. So, you know, it's all about what you want to do with your equipment. Obviously, keep in mind that some things have input power restrictions and stuff like that, but this radio is fully ready to go. It's a very fun radio. You can turn your span feature on as well, which is here, and it acts like a VFO on this radio. So, and then you don't have to go through the bands. So we'll turn that on, and now see how it's blinking. So we can use our mic and go anywhere we want to go in frequency, from the bottom 24715 up to 3105. So anywhere in between, or you can just use this and dial wherever you want to go. If you were in 10 meter or something, then you'd be able to go any step size you want. The cool thing about this radio is it does not mute. So it works like a real ham radio in the sense that when you change frequency, you don't lose any sound. So that's a cool feature that other more popular ones that have a little bit more of that distortion factor and stuff like that people like, that one doesn't do this. So for sideband operators and stuff like this, this is really cool. So it was a fight to get this on other radios, this option. In the beginning, the factory didn't want to do it. It's just very nice that it carried over to this radio. So maybe they requested it, I don't know. But again, it's nice when you don't have that click, pause of sound, click, pause of sound, click, pause of sound. Now, if you go to the band option, it'll do that. So, you know, when you're using the span, it doesn't do that, I believe. Let's test that theory, because I'm not sure. So let's turn the span off, and we'll see. Yeah, because it's going in step size. And that's normal because it's pre-programmed to go 10 kilohertz. So that's what you get on that other radio, even if you're using the VFO. So it's very nice that this radio doesn't have to have that option, or doesn't do that. I mean, and it has the muting. I'm sorry, it doesn't have the muting on their VFO option, which is their span option. So I'm going to leave it on and let you figure out what's the best way to run it for yourself. You know, like I say, you got all the frequencies and stuff. I'm just going to put it back here. And then when you're done, obviously it defaults back to the 10K if you set it there. So the only difference is now it doesn't miss anything. It just goes directly through. So it's kind of cool. It reminds me of the span on like the HR 2510 or the old Lincoln. That's kind of how that span worked too. You bypass the band option. I think the Lincoln 2 Plus did it too. So I hope that that'll be something you can take advantage of. The only thing I need to do last is just check the receiver, and I could just simply do this probably, and it's going to pick it up. So let's go on this radio, and again, I'm on a dummy load, so whoa, boy, too much volume. Okay, so this is on a dummy load, of course, and let me turn that just a little bit. There we go. This one's on an outside dummy load, and this one's on an indoor dummy load, so it's picking it up pretty good. Got echo and all this crazy stuff on that radio. Here's AM. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Check. Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna hook it up to the signal generator. We'll do a more professional test, but it is receiving radio to radio, dummy load to dummy load. I did put your fan temperature protection back to 50 Celsius, so now the fans won't just run all the time. They'll come on when the radio heats up to a certain temp. Depending on your operator habits, you can find probably a good happy medium of where you think you might need the fans, or you can just have them run all the time if that's what you want to do. But I don't think it's necessary. I mean, just have them come on when they need to come on, that kind of thing. The longer you talk, the hotter the radio will get, and then eventually, if it gets up, I think it's around 110 Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what the transition is for 50C, but I know 50C is quite warm in Fahrenheit. Okay, this is our AM receiver. So we're at about minus 113, right about 12. It's dancing around there a little bit, so that's good. Let's go to upper sideband. Upper sideband, and dial that back some. There's about 128, and there you have it. So it's looking good, like they always do. So I think we're good to go on this one. Remember, you got a USB jack here that you can power stuff with if you choose to. Power your smartphone or whatever else you may want to plug in. It's just a standard USB. So they don't add any noise to the receiver or anything like that if you use them. Obviously, if your phone, you know, I've never really heard of anybody using these and having problems with sound getting into the receiver. Now I know in my own car, let me shut that off. I know on my own vehicle, when I use a cell phone, like a cigarette lighter cell phone, it does sometimes put noise in the receiver of my radio in my car. Now I don't have one of these in my car. I plan on it sooner or later. I'm just kind of lazy and I don't feel like switching the radio out that I have right now currently in the car, but I would like to run one of these. I think it'd be fun to run one in the car as well, and eventually I'll get around to doing it. But I know for my own experience that the radio I have in the car right now, with that cigarette lighter that charges my smartphone, it does add a little bit of a sound factor to my receiver, and I think it's just due to the cheap cigarette lighter plug charger that I have. It's letting off some type of interference. So I don't think that's the case though if you use a plug-in. So if you plug something in and charge it, I don't think it's going to affect the radio or anything like that. But she's all set for you, so I'll get it boxed up. And the only thing with this is when I put it in the box with the fans, it's not a big issue, but I can't fully shut the metal, not the metal, the brown cardboard box. Anybody that's got one of these for me with the fans, you'll notice when you take it out of the President box, that little brown box on the inside where the radio is, one of the sides is just a little stuck out because the fans are just a little too long and they don't fit that box right. But they do fit fine and they ship fine and everything. It's just, you know, you can't get it in there as good as how it was without the fans. But the fans are, I think the fans just add something to these radios. It's nice that, you know, you can put them on there and you have the technology in here to just keep this thing cool. If it needs to cool itself down, it just does. And I like that. I like that idea. And just everything works out perfect. It's just a cool looking radio. So I hope you enjoy it. And we'll be in touch. So 73, get this one heading to you tomorrow.